Okay. Hey, Kelsey. You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes. Sorry, I just get so distracted.
Okay, that's good to know. Hopefully once you start doing it, you'll just
Zone it.
Yeah, you'll zone it.
Code in.
Okay, the first is like super simple to get. Sorry, I'm recording now. Okay, super simple. What's your name? How old are you and where are you from?
I am 24 and I'm from Portland, New York, United States.
And your name?
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Marie Simmons.
Pretty name.
Very basic. I feel like Marie is like the most basic middle name you can get.
Oh, I think you said Marie.
Maurice?
I guess
No,
that's
Marie.
Marie. I don't think so. Are you French?
No?
I thought Marie was a French name. No? Okay. Doesn't matter. Okay, what was the high, low, and surprise of your week?
Ooh. The high? Just meeting cool people. Like, meeting, especially like other Americans. And like, I didn't expect to meet other Americans at this hostel, like, right off the bat. I thought it would be like a rare thing. So, yeah. That was a high. The low, maybe getting a little bit sick. Like a little, like,
I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
yeah. No, I think it was from partying the other night, like staying up too late, not being too kind to my hubby. And then surprise.
Could be good, could be bad.
Finding out that my like manager was leaving, and then I became her bed, and that the puppy would be sleeping in my bed, and so now the dog is like sleeping with me, and I have to like sleep at the end of the bed and let the ball because the dog takes up the whole bed.
You're sleeping with the dog?
Yes.
If no one told you?
She did. She asked me, she's like, is it okay? And I'm like, because it would either be, you know, Joe, like,
Yeah.
Joe. Ginger Joe. It would either be him taking her bed or me taking her bed. And I took it because it was like bottom bunk. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take bottom bunk. And it's a cozy little corner. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so that is a surprise.
Yeah, it's a good one though, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that good or bad?
It is, it's good. It's good.
Good. Okay. And why are you here? Why are you in Thailand?
Well, I had met quite a few people when I was traveling, like Indonesia and Vietnam, that had been to Thailand, and they said that they had the most like spiritual experience and like grew a lot from their experience in Thailand. So I was like, I've got to go. Yeah, and I had my work visa for Australia, and I've been working this whole summer. So I was like, I want to take like a vacation and live and like have fun before I go to Australia, like work and go to an expensive place. Yeah.
So you're on vacation right now. This is
For
technical?
me, this is like, yeah, basically. I'm working, but I'm not working.
Well, I guess I was, okay, so that's, yeah, do you consider this a vacation? Like, or is this like a,
Fully.
this is, okay, it's a true vacation.
Yeah.
But you are working on vacation. A lot of people wouldn't do that.
Right. Yeah, but like, look at where we are right now. Like, it's vacation. I'm not in the snow at home. This is vacation.
Gotcha. And then what is that, like, can you describe a little bit, like, what makes this vacation for you? Like, look at where we are.
Being able to go swimming in the ocean every day and like not going to a job that in a way kind of feels like draining, and like I know here, like no matter what I'm doing in the day, like for work, I'm meeting cool people, I'm having a good time, like it's not too strenuous or taxing, and at the end of the day, like I feel rejuvenated by what I'm doing rather than drained, I guess. Yeah.
Do you think that work is always draining?
No.
When is work not training, when you're not on vacation, like removed from
If you
Thailand?
really enjoy what you're doing, like if you have a good group, like coworkers, boss, everything, like atmosphere plays a lot into it. Like where I came from before, like my job that I was working, honestly, I really enjoyed it as well. Like I was having a good time. It wasn't that bad, but it's like long hours, and you know when you're working to make money, I think there's more of like this mindset of like, oh, this is work. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, can you talk a little bit more? So, like, you came, where were you before this? So you grew up in New York, and can you walk me through how you grew up in New York, what that was like, and how you ended up traveling and meeting those people in Vietnam and Indonesia?
Well, yeah. I feel like a lot of things happened all at once that like was like, well, I need to get as far away from home as possible. So I just like bought a ticket to Australia because that was the farthest you could go from New York. And yeah, as soon as I got to Australia, I would have never thought that I never would have thought I'd end up in Vietnam, or like, I wanted to go to Bali because I'd seen like Instagram pictures and stuff, like, oh, it looks so nice, but I kind of thought it was a little bit of like a dream to go there, and Australia seemed like more reasonable. So I was in Australia, and there was this guy that came into the hostel, and he was like, hey, I'm gonna go travel New Zealand in a van, do you want to come? I was like, yeah, sure. And so we did New Zealand for 2 months in a van, we traveled the islands, and then we both had always wanted to go to Bali, and we needed to leave New Zealand, so we're like, I'd booked my ticket, and he also had a ticket booked to Bali, so we ended up going to Bali together, and we traveled around like Bali, and then we did another island in Indonesia, and then while I was there, I was volunteering at a hostel, and I met this girl that was like, do you want to go to Vietnam? And I never considered going to Vietnam, but then this girl was going, and my visa was expiring for Indonesia, and I was like, sure. So we ended up going and doing Vietnam, and then I ran out of money, so I had to go home. And while I was home, I just kept thinking, like, my story is not done yet for the other side of the world. So then that's when I started like, looking into getting my work visa for Australia, and I had to wait like 5 months for that. And when it finally came through, I was like, wow, like I almost got to the point where I thought it was never going to come through. Because 5 months is like quite a long time to wait. And then I kept thinking like about how all these people had told me the great experience that they had in Thailand, and I had remembered, so I had met the manager here at Wonderland. I met her in Vietnam on the street, and we chatted, and so I just messaged her one day when my visa came through, and I'm like, hey, do you have any openings at your hostel? And she said, actually, yeah, like that works out perfectly, we just had someone cancel, like can you come from this date to this date? And it was like a week and a half away, and I was like, sure. So I just booked my flight, and yeah, 5 days ago. Yeah.
That is quite the story. That's like, so how long was all of that?
Which bit?
Well, from New York till now. Like, has it been a year or 2 years?
Wait, what?
Like, you said, I needed to leave home, and I booked a one-way ticket to Australia.
Yeah.
And now you're here. How long?
So, like, a year ago is when, about a year ago is when I first booked that ticket to Australia.
Okay.
And then I did Australia, then New Zealand, and then Indonesia, and then Vietnam. That was a total of about like 5 months.
Gotcha.
And then I ran out of money.
Gotcha.
And I was waiting for my work visa for Australia, and I was trying to like wait it out in Vietnam, but I was like dangerously low on money. And good thing I didn't wait it out, because it ended up taking 5 months. I would have been screwed. So I went back home and spent the summer and fall in New York, which you can't beat that. Like, it's the most beautiful time. So I think everything worked out for a reason. Like, I went home and we put down my childhood dog. Like, and if I hadn't come back, I would have missed that. And I think I would have really missed out on that. And and I also like my grandmas are still alive, so I got to like hang out with them. My one grandma has dementia, so it's nice to be able to spend time with her, and like I feel like if you're away for too long, it's a bit easier for them to just like not think about you. So yeah, I think everything worked out as it was supposed to, and I went home, I spent a good amount of time, spent time with family and friends, and then came back to this side of the world.
Then here you are.
Yeah.
And you're going back to Australia. Are you, were you, wait, I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Because you said a lot, which is great.
Sorry.
No. This is, I'm saying like you have like, it's so interesting like all the ways that like led you here. So I'm curious like, and then where you plan to go. So this, people told you about how spiritual Thailand was and how much you grow.
Yeah.
Do you have like, do you consider yourself a spiritual person?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I grew up Christian. Like, we went to church, we celebrated all the holidays, and I had always like had a bit of a relationship with God. And traveling, like, it's a bit interesting because a lot of people have very drastically different views on religion and like spirituality. And I feel like when I travel, like the last time I was in Indonesia, like as soon as I got there, I just met other people that kind of introduced me to different ways of thinking, and it was just really refreshing to have like different viewpoints with people that were very open. Like they were judging like my views and like my background with religion. They were just open and like wanting to hear my perspective and know where I'm coming from, and then also share their viewpoints. And like it was nice to just have like a chill, like a fully open conversation that was just, we reciprocated like respect for each other, and like we're able to become closer at the end of it. Like I feel like if you can share your spiritual beliefs with someone, like you can be quite close, because that's very vulnerable. Like I'm very scary. Same with like politics and all that. Like to chat about those things is very toxic. So yeah.
Did your perspective change at all after this conversation?
I think it grew. Like it deepened my beliefs in everything that I had understood and like felt in the past. Like I just felt more reassured that where I was going and my mindset and like my path was going well, was going the right way. Yeah.
So in Indonesia, it sounds like your deepening of faith was like a big twist of
I think it had a lot to do with just like the culture in Indonesia. Like there's a very big emphasis on the community and respect and really just being kind and like respecting nature and like maybe unity. Like that's, if I had to choose one word, like I felt very connected with people and nature and
life. That's a good way to put it. Like however that manifests for you and the other people you're with, everyone was like thinking about life and connecting to life however they thought.
I guess like when you're traveling, you meet people from all over the world, but at the end of the day, like right now, you're also from New York, which to me seems crazy that we both traveled this far, both from New York, like pretty similar areas in New York, and like we are experiencing, like we have family back home that are experiencing such a different life right now. Like we're both here and we're like everyone in this household, like you could sit down and have a chat, and it's like no matter like what's going on in our lives, like this is right now, and like it's just a cool thing to be able to sit down and chat with people that have such different backgrounds, but to know like something all brought us all right here at this moment. So like who knows what the force or like reason for it may be, but I just find it like so interesting and like love chatting with people when we're in a situation like this where a hospital is like just kind of a big family, especially when you're here for quite a long time. You just I don't know, you get a different perspective of the place. Like, it becomes home, like a community.
How does that feel to have like left your home behind and like kind of have like a TBD date on when you're going back?
It's kind of tough, like I said, with like my family. Like, I kind of feel guilty in a way, like, because my family, to them, like, they'll never understand why I want to be gone for so long. They're like, oh, well, you're leaving, like, us, and you're missing out on Christmas. You don't want to spend the holidays with us, like, and they get butthurt about it. And like, for some people, like, their parents are like, yeah, go travel, like, do everything you want to do. And my family, I guess, like, I'm very close to my family, and as much as they love me traveling and like doing these things, they also like they want me home for Christmas. They want to be able to like have a memory of us, you know, spending every holiday together. And like I said with my grandmas, you never know what could happen. So I do feel a bit guilty about not being there to spend as much time as I possibly can with them. But at the same time, I gotta live my life.
Yeah, you gotta be connected to your life, as you said.
Yeah, because when I was at home, like before I really started traveling, I felt like I was missing out on something, and as soon as I did, I had left and done like my first solo travel. I was like, yeah, I need this. This is how I'm gonna grow. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is you first said like you had to leave home. It sounded like you were escaping to Australia. And now you're kind of talking about I want to grow in Thailand. Can you tell me a little bit like what that feels like, that difference, and like how it's
so freeing? It's so free. Like, yeah. It makes me like emotional because I was in like such a weird place in my life where in the US it's pushed pretty heavily to, at least where I was living, like you meet someone, and if you're in a serious relationship, you get married, you have kids, you get a job, and like that's why I left home. I was in like a serious relationship, and we had a house together, we had pets together, we had the life that I always thought I wanted, because growing up, like that was the life that every American girl like wants from a small town. Like that's what they all want. Like it's wonderful, but I knew something was not right. It just didn't. I wasn't happy. Yeah. So I just not one day, like it built up over time, but I finally got to the point where I was just like, no, I gotta go. I gotta live. I gotta like try something different. Yeah.
And now you did that. You went and like traveled a bunch, and now you're in Thailand. So you're going back to Australia, you said. So how does this feel different than that trip? And like, do you have like certain goals or something in mind that feels different?
I guess like that last trip, it was a bit like an escape. And it was just like, I was throwing myself off the deep end. I had no idea what to expect. I just was like, I'm finally gonna do what I want to do. And now like this time around, it feels like, sounds kind of like cliche, but like a new me. Like, I have a confidence in me that I didn't that first time around. And it's gonna be okay. And what I'm doing is good. Like, I don't have to question it anymore. I don't have to feel guilty about it. Like, I'm doing pretty good. Like, I'm happy. I meet wonderful people. I try to do my best every day. Like, I feel good. Like, I don't doubt and like question everything like I used to. Yeah.
It's gotta feel good.
It feels really good.
really
good.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it is.
One thing you said, like, it sounds cliche. I have a take on cliches, is that they're cliche because they actually are true for a lot of people, and we should feel more connected when we use them than when we don't. Because like, it's like, because like you feel like a new me, and people can like relate to feeling like a whole nother person and like rejuvenated in different ways and stuff. So anyway, because like I related to you when you said these things. So yeah.
And I've had this chat with people before, and it's always like, yeah. I think that's another thing of maturing, is realizing like cliche is not necessarily that thing.
No, it's not. It's not. When you're looking at Australia, so you're gonna go to Australia. Can you tell me a little bit about what that's gonna look like?
I'm not quite too sure. I don't know. I think I just am excited that I know so many people there from traveling that I just feel like it's going to be like a big family reunion no matter where I go. It's like, it's a good feeling to know that I'm going somewhere that's entirely new to me, but somehow I know that I'm going to have a good time, like meet wonderful people, and it's going to be a new experience that I've never had before.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the unknown is almost exciting. It sounds like before your life was like very planned.
Yes.
And now
very,
it's like
very
not.
planned.
Yeah. And that's gonna be liberating. Sweet, as you said. Actually, your words, not mine. Okay, so you've talked a lot about like the people that you've met. Does anyone like stand out to you as someone that you're like, I remember when like this person like changed the way I thought about something?
Yeah. The guy that got me to leave Australia.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have left there if he had asked me to go to New Zealand. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little more about that? Like what happened? Like story time?
Oh, what happened? He was staying at the hospital that I was working at in Australia. He was a guest. And when we were just chatting and like getting to know each other, and then he was there for a few days, and we just ended up spending every minute of every day together. And we just got on really well. Had a really good time, like felt very comfortable with each other, like comfortably that I've never experienced so quickly. And he told me he was going to New Zealand, and he had to go, like he wanted to stay, because the town that we were in was a small beach town, very chill, like easily could get stuck there, kind of like here. Like it's just a wonderful place with wonderful people where you feel like I can spend a lot of time here.
Yeah.
And he had asked me like, do you want to go to New Zealand? And I never thought I'd go to New Zealand. Like I had no idea that I would ever end up there. Like, yeah, sure, whatever, like could happen. But there was never any plan of that. And he asked me, New Zealand is quite expensive, so I was like, oh, okay, well, it'd be a cheaper way to do it. And he was getting a van, and I was like, I've always wanted to travel in a van. And like he had it all planned out. I was like, look it, yeah. And I was open to anything. So yeah, I went and I flew and I met him in New Zealand, and we traveled around for 2 months in the van. Had the time of our lives, like, and, it was so good. Like parking on the side of the road and having this beautiful like mountaintop landscape as our view to wake up to, and just so many magical things. And like he was a very goofy person, like very goofy, and he just, I don't know, I felt very comfortable to be goofy as well. He was just somebody that, like, a bright light that kind of like attracted everyone. A very good soul. And then when we found out we were both going to Bali, I was like, oh, okay, cool, because our times had done. Like, I did not want to, like, yeah, I would have followed him anywhere, and I did that for a while. Like, he also then was going to another island that I never would have gone to. His friend had told me about it. I never had heard of it. Like, and that's Lombok, Indonesia. His friend had told him about it, and it was like a small surf, beachy island, like. So we go there. He was only there for a week. I didn't know how long I'd be there. I had no plans. And he left, and he had to go to Vietnam, and I was gonna go as well, but I was like starting to get to a point where I was like, okay, I need to like figure out my next steps. I can't just keep following him. And so I let him go to Vietnam, and I stayed in that place on Lombok for a month and a half. And I lived there, and I met the most wonderful people. I met this girl, so if I hadn't stayed or if I hadn't gone to Lombok because he took me there, I wouldn't have met Chloe, who was this girl that I ended up traveling Vietnam with. I would have never gone to Vietnam unless she had asked me. And then I went back home. She had her Canadian work visa. I drove over to Canada, picked her up, brought her back to New York. Like, we are like the best of friends. The sequence of events that have led me to some of the most wonderful people that have absolutely changed my life. Yeah. I don't even remember what the question was.
Did someone stick out to you as someone that changed like everything?
Yeah.
And so meeting him like really changed it. Are you still in touch with him or no?
A little. Yeah, like we chat here and there, but
You think that chapter has closed?
I wish it hadn't, but he's a very interesting person. I think he just does his own thing. He likes his freedom. He likes his.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you had so could be continued, but that chapter was very nice.
Yes. Yeah. Could be. Hopefully. You never know.
You never know. Life moves on.
Yeah.
Oh, you said something. Oh, okay. There's like a lot of ambiguity, right? Like that you're dealing with, you dealt with, and like moved through it and stuff. And this is something I'm seeing like a lot of different travelers are dealing. I think a lot of people travel to like discover something new about themselves or people. Like, can you talk a little bit about what it's like in those moments of like you're solo traveling, of like being alone, and like what helps you navigate that ambiguity or be okay or comfortable with it?
Honestly, praying.
Praying?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. I mean, there are so many times where, obviously, like when you're solo traveling and you don't have a plan, there's a lot that's up in the air that you truly cannot control. And that's where faith has played into my traveling and grown so much, because things get scary, especially as like a solo female. It's easy to like get caught up in, oh, I'm having a good time, this and that, and then like sometimes you sit down and you're like, look, I'm across the world. I truly like, especially when you're in a new place where you haven't met anyone yet. It's kind of like terrifying. And I guess just knowing that, or having this sense that I am going to be okay, because at the end of the day, like, God is looking out for me and has my best interest at heart, and like, yeah, I'm a big believer in karma as well. Like, I believe that if you're a good person, like, you're truly trying your best to help other people and to just be a good, like, good energy in the world, that will come to you, and like your life will be filled with good things. And of course, there are bad things that happen, like every now and then. You can't have the highs without the lows, as they say. But I think just being able to feel that presence and be in this space where fear just kind of washes away when you give it over. Most peaceful feeling in the world.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if you know this, but you know that people did a study of the people who live the longest, like in the world, and tried to find commonalities between them. They found like several, but one of the biggest ones was faith. And it could be faith in anything. It doesn't have to be one religion, one thing, but like faith leads like happiest longest living.
I fully can see why.
Yeah.
I can definitely see why.
That makes sense. Okay, a couple more serious, and then I've got some rapid fire questions. Your faith helping you navigate ambiguity. Okay, like if we were to take like a picture of your life right now, like how would you? Somebody described it as like a snapshot of your life. How would you describe it? It is a little tricky, though. And it's vague on purpose. So.
This might be like taking it down a totally weird route. I feel like I would want to take everyone from the hostel that I've met here so far down to the beach, sit us down by the ocean, and a photo of that. And like that would capture where I'm at right now. Yeah.
You seem very like present always. Do you consider yourself like do you consider yourself like a very present person, or do you find
I try to be.
Yeah.
I try to be. Sometimes I'm very much so in my own world. Like just feeling like life is so freaking magical that sometimes I feel like I'm a bit in my own bubble. And then I have to like burst out of it and be like, oh, okay, like, reconnect, come on, like, hone in. But yeah, I try to be.
Yeah, well, what is like, if you were to take all those people into the hostel, put them in a thing, what's like the favorite thing that you think is a common theme, like thread that you see between all the people that you've met?
I want to say passion for life. Also just like being friendly and just kind, and I guess that can fall into passion for life because like at the end of the day, like yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stick with that. Passion for life.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.